Hello everyone, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to play the Center game and some amazing traps in it. Well, Center game is a good popular opening and is played even at high levels, and I'm pretty sure you have experienced it in your life. Like if you're playing chess from like 1 2 years, I am dead sure you have experienced it. You might play it or your opponent might play it. So let's go. Well, the center game starts with the move e4, e5, d4, e takes e4, and queen takes g4. This is the center game. Now, it might look like the Scotch Gambit, but the Scotch Gambit is actually after the knights. So it's not the Scotch Gambit, and it is similar to the Danish Gambit because in the Danish Gambit, you play the move c3. That is the Danish Gambit. That is a different separate video. By the way, I've already made a video on the Danish Gambit, so you can just go into my channel and search it. You'll find it. Coming back to the center game, after Queen takes d4, this is the center game. And now there are a lot of popular moves for Black. The most common one move is Knight e6 attacking the Queen, and Queen goes to e3. Now this is the critical position because from now on there are a lot of choices for Black. To be honest, the move which is played a lot of times is a move like bishop d4 and knight f6. But another very popular move which even I have played in my life, I'm not sure. Uh, I do not play the center game, but I have played against it a lot of times, and I have played this move b6. Now before b6, let me show you a trap, a small trap right here. If your opponent, I'm showing it from the black side, and it's an alert net for white. So if you are playing for the white pieces, never play queen c3 because you might lose the queen in just one move. Yeah. So I was saying after queen e3, a very popular move which I have played and a lot of people played, it has been played more than 50,000 times, is the move b6. Now why b6? Simple reason, just go bishop b7 and most popularly go to bishop c5, and it would have a support with the pawn and attack the queen. That is the whole aim of this move, and it's not a bad move. I mean, it's completely fine, right? So after the move b6, well, we're just going to develop our pieces. Knight c3. My sister just interrupted. Okay. Knight c3, and now comes the move which we were discussing earlier. Bishop c5 attacking the queen. In this position, you have to play the move queen to g3, and this is the moment because here you set a trap, a very sneaky trap. The simple thing you can see that the queen is attacking the g pawn, and there are three ways to defend it, or three responses from the black side. The first very obvious one would be queen f6. You're just trying to develop the queen, defending the pawn and everything. And like if I just move the queen, you can even checkmate me, almost a checkmate. That's a pretty good move, right? But just one move and black is over. Knight to d5, and the queen is attacked, the pawn is hit, and there is nothing black can do. The best black can do is to play queen e5. In this position, you can take the pawn. If queen takes, we can take the queen. After king to d8, now we take the queen. Knight takes e5, now we take the rook. And the game may continue with the move bishop b7. We take another pawn, which knight takes b6, and after bishop takes b6, after the whole transaction, you can see that white is up in exchange and it's also up 2 pawns in just 10 or 11 moves of the game. This is a crazy trap. Very decisive advantage for white, and white is completely winning. Hence, queen f6 is not a good response. The other response, which also looks very obvious, is the move g6. Just strong. I mean, the pawn which is getting attacked has already moved, so now there is no attack. When in this position, we are going to play the same move, knight to d5. A very keen move in this opening. Knight to d5 attacking the c7 pawn. If your opponent plays the move bishop d6, which is not that great because you are just underdeveloping a bishop and even stopping this pawn to move, well, bishop f4 is a very strong reply, and after takes, we basically arise into the same position, which I will show you just now. So instead of bishop c5, the move which you might more popularly get is the move d6. Just stopping the queen from the x-ray. But in this position, we are going to play an amazing move, queen to c3, sliding the queen and attacking the rook on this diagonal. And the only move to save the rook is the move f6, because you cannot get the knight or the queen, because there are two pieces attacking that square. Hence, black has to play the move f6. And in this position, now we are going to play the move bishop to b5, another attack on the knight. The knight is attacked, and the king, the rook, the position for black is just falling. Doesn't matter where the bishop goes, b7 or d7. Let's say bishop d7, unpinning the knight. Well, in this position, we are going to play the move bishop takes c6, bishop takes c6, and this killer move b4, and the game is over. Because if the bishop moves like anywhere, let's say, I just take the bishop. This bishop is pinned, and this bishop is like not protected. So if this bishop moves, let's say like here, I'm just up a full piece. Well, you might say, what if bishop takes d5? And if I take it, now the material is actually equal, and black is back in the game. Well, that's a mistake, because in this position, we are going to take the bishop. And you might say now the bishop will move and black is saved, right? But bishop cannot move. Every square is protected and the bishop is completely trapped and has no play. Like it can go anywhere, but it will get behind. Like this with the queen, pawn, bishop, queen, everything. This is completely over for black. A game in the database went with the move queen to e7 check. Well, in this position, is queen at e7. After takes, king takes f2, and white is just very solid and is up a full exchange. Oh, up a full piece. I'm sorry, up a full piece, and just play rook e1, king g1, artificial castling, and white is all win and is completely winning. A 3-point advantage to white by then. But so this means if white plays the move queen g3, is it all over for black? Black has no move. Black has no response. Well, that's not the case, because in this position, black can play a very secret move, knight to f6. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're playing this from the white side, just play knight f3 and don't even touch that pawn on g7. Because basically, this is actually a counter trap, which you might see. And just to show this trap, let me go to the other side of the board. Now we are seeing this trap on the black side. If you're playing the white from the white pieces, do not touch the pawn, just go knight f3, just develop a piece's castle, and it's a good game. But if you're playing from the black side and your opponent will be tempted to play the queen takes g7, it's like, oh, I'm up a pawn, right? It's great. Well, white is not in a good position now, because here now we're gonna play the move rook to g8. White will be like, so what? Queen at 6, right? No problem. Well, here is the killer move. Bishop takes f2 check, and after king takes, knight g4, a fork, and the queen is lost. Black is completely winning. Game over. Hence, after bishop takes f2, king cannot touch that pawn. The game may continue in this position as with the move king to d1. And you will like, yeah, black is just up a pawn, right? And not even up a pawn. It's just that white has lost the right to castle. Well, it's not only that. Black has a very strong position. Very, it's what do we say? Oh my god, I forgot. I just forgot the word. What? Black has a very. Anyways, I just want to say black has a good position. Let me show you how. In this position, you can continue with the move d5. And after takes, you can play a very surprising move, which looks like impossible. Bishop to e6. Point is, the pawn cannot take any piece because it's pinned. So, bishop d2 just to stop the pin. Well, now we can just take the pawn with the knight. Knight takes d5, queen takes d5, and black is in a very attacking position. Knight f3 to protect to give more support to the d2 bishop. Then you can play the move castles, and now the rook, queen, everything is under attack. Is on the attack. And white might try to play the move c3, trying to get an escape square for the king on c2. Well, now we're gonna play the move queen to e4, even stopping at escape. And in this position, if your opponent plays the move, like let's say like a3, well then there's this trap, bishop to e3, and I mean queen, everything is exploited, right? You have nothing to do. Not only bishop to e3, you have another very strong reply, which is the move bishop to b3. After king to c1, queen to c2 checkmate. So that's not possible. So in this position, to save the move bishop e3, white might try to play the move c1, king c1. Well, white forgot this one move, not bishop b3, but this time bishop f5, and a checkmate is lying on the c2 square. No one can protect it. Game is over, and black wins it. But if your opponent is like, oh bro, I can just go king d1, now what? Well, now queen to c2, king to e2, and after move like bishop c5, let's say b4, rook to e8, game is over. There is nothing white can do, and this is a completely winning position for black. Well guys, this was a trap in the center game. Always remember, if you are playing from white, do not take this pawn. And if your opponent does not play knight f6 and plays g6 or queen f6, well then you know what to do. I hope you liked today's video, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then,